that the class will be full. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. It seems your network is unstable. I'm here.
Okay, okay,
You can go ahead, ma'am.
okay, dear. So let's start with the mistakes. So we talked about the mistakes that people make in planning for their retirement. So I said number one mistake is waiting too long to start saving. So for many people think like I still have time, and but every year you waste, you're actually wasting the compound interest you're supposed to be having. So when you delay, you're delaying the monies you would have saved over the years. So the earlier you start, the better for you. So if you save, for example, 20,000 naira every month, and in that 20,000 naira, you have interest of 20%, let's say yearly. For 30 years, if you can save for 30 years, you're making about 1.2 billion naira. That is what you would have saved in 30 years. Are you there? It's like this network.
You can go ahead, ma'am, with you.
Okay, okay. So you would have saved 1.2 billion naira in 30 years. So you can open a mutual fund account and be saving as little as 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira as you deem fit. In this, you will see that you will be able to have saved money that will help you in retirement. Then mistake number two is relying only on pension, which I said your pension alone won't save you because it delayed, unreliable, and also insufficient. And that is why many retirees are forced to borrow or even depend on their children to survive. So the way you can avoid this is by diversifying your income, investing in mutual funds like the money market fund, real estate like buying of landed properties, stocks like buying company shares, or even fixed income fund like the treasury bills, the commercial papers, and also government bond, even fixed deposit. So this is the way to diversify your income. You also have to create a source of passive income before retirement, like having a side business that you can keep somebody and monitor the person. Then mistake number three is ignoring inflation, which I said that 1,000 naira, a 100,000 naira that we can use years back, and you could use it to even start a foundation, because then a bag of cement was like 3,000, but today a bag of cement is 10,000 naira. Today you cannot use that 100,000 to do anything. In the next 10 years, you can't. 100,000 naira will be like maybe a 10,000 naira. So inflation is real and is a silent destroyer of the value of your money. So that is why the best thing is to invest your money and not keep it where inflation will catch up with it. So how to fight back inflation is by investing in assets that grow faster than inflation, like the stocks and also landed properties. Then also increase your savings as your income increases. So if your salary increases, what you do is you save more. Don't let your money sleep in the bank, because in the bank you earn nothing in it, rather you keep getting deductions and charges. So make your money work for you by what? Investing it and not keeping it in liquid cash. Then mistake number 4, not having a retirement budget. Retirement should be retirement should bring peace and not panic. Yet many retirees run out of money because they never took time to plan and calculate their actual needs. So how to fix this? Estimate your monthly expenses after retirement. Ensure your investment can cover those needs. So you should always have an emergency fund ready. At least a 6 months emergency fund is very good for you to have. Mistake number 5, estimating on underestimating healthcare cost. You know, with age comes health challenges, and medical costs can destroy your finances if you are not prepared. So that is why you need to prepare for it. You need to prepare for your medical cost, because at old age there are a lot of challenges of sickness. So how would you now prepare for this? You need to open a medical savings account where you can save for that period. Strictly save for medical bills, not for any other thing. You know that, okay, this money going into this account, this investment account, is purely for my medical bills. Consider health insurance. You can decide to pick up an HMO plan where you pay for it and then tomorrow you use it. Take care of your health today to avoid problems tomorrow. If you don't take care of your health today, it is in old age that everything that you have accumulated as a young person, you will now start paying for it in old age. So that is why it is good to take care of your health today. It is good to do exercise and eat healthily to avoid a lot of sickness or health challenges in old age. Mistake number 6, taking high risk close to retirement. You know, as a young person, you can afford to gamble, but as a retiree, you cannot. When you retire, you can never gamble with your funds because you do not have the time again to gather those funds back. So high risk investment close to retirement can wipe away all your entire life saving. That is why you ought not to gamble. You ought not to go into high risk investment. What to do instead? Shift to a low risk investment as you approach retirement. Investments like the money market fund, the treasury bills, government bonds, commercial papers are the best investment you can go into when you are close to retirement. Invest in dividend paying stocks and fixed income. These are the kind of investment you can do as someone who is retiring. Be wise. Do not invest emotionally. Really, you have to be wise with your money. You ought not to invest your money into any kind of investment. I told a story of a client of mine who got his gratuity and pension um program payment, and he decided to go into a high risk investment, which I even advised that it is not the best thing to do because at this age he does not have time to gather those funds again. So the best thing, I even gave him an option of dividing the money into two, giving me 50% of the money. Let's put it in a low risk investment, and then he can put the other one wherever he want to. In case anything happen, he should have something to fall back to. But the man, refused bluntly and put all his money in that high risk investment. In just a week, the whole money lost. He lost all his funds and he couldn't survive it. He gave up. If he has heeded to my advice, that wouldn't have happened. So at retirement, you ought not to take high risk investment. Then mistake number 7, not planning for longevity. What if you live to be 90 or even 100 years old or even more? Will your money last? So you need to prepare for it. You need to plan for at least 30 years after retirement. Plan for 30 years after retirement or more. Build a passive income stream that continue to make money for you at your old age. Mistake number 8, not seeking financial advice. Retirement planning is not a guesswork. Many people make costly mistakes because they never talk to a financial expert, so they could sit down and have a discussion on how they should invest their finances. So you have to change that today. Work with a professional financial advisor, attend financial seminars, educate yourself, get knowledge on financial advice, because knowledge is power and financial knowledge is power. So final thought, what will you do differently today? So look at all that we have spoken and look, what can you do differently? Are you going to take a step today by saving for your retirement? So let's recap the top retirement mistakes to avoid. Number 1, I said waiting too long. So what you need to do is start today. Depending only on pension, you need to diversify your income. Ignoring inflation, you need to invest wisely. No retirement budget, plan your expenses. Neglecting healthcare costs, prepare for medical needs. Risky investment too close to retirement, please, you need to be conservative. Not planning for long life, your money must last, so you need to plan for it. No financial advice, get help from an expert. So these are all the points that we have spoken on. So note this, retirement is not the end. It is the beginning of financial planning, financial freedom. But freedom doesn't come by chance. It comes by planning ahead. So you need to start making smart decisions and acting now. So I ask you, what will you do differently starting today? And this question need to be answered. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make right now. Thank you, and I'm happy to take your questions. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mara. My notes is full. My notes is full, in all honesty,
Wow.
because the things you have shared are practicable, and I can relate
Yes.
with it because I have like parents who have retired. My dad is no longer with us, but before he passed on, he retired. I think for about over 5 years or more, maybe up to like 7 years. And my mom too currently is retired. So most of the things you're saying, I can relate. Like when it comes to things about inflation, many times people don't
Mm,
factor in the impact of inflation, and there's that need to want to depend on your pension. Then even there's an example you gave about when people are giving their gratuity, wanting to invest in high risk investments. I know it happened to someone really close to me. He started up a business at the point of retirement, and by the time he started up the business, there were lots of issues. The government, they were calling Tinubu government or Buhari government, that kind of thing happened.
yeah.
And in a long run, he lost the money. So it's really important, these things you've shared. And I have questions. I know that with regards to saving, you talked about saving and you talked about mutual funds. So, with regards to other aspects of, like you talked about income diversification, you mentioned stock. I really want to know more about how stock works here in Nigeria. If I want to invest in stock, where do I go to? Where, at least if it's mutual funds, you are going to the bank to open a mutual funds account. But when it comes to stock, how do I know which stock is legit? Where do I go to actually find information on which stock to invest in?
Okay. So when it comes to, I like in my YouTube channel, I did a video on the difference between the banks and the um capital market operators. So the capital market operators are licensed to do investment for you, also to help you trade in stocks. So if you want to open a stock or you want to go into stock trading, the first thing you do is you have to locate which of these companies, because they are all registered with Securities and Exchange Commission. And anyone that is not registered is not legit. You can't use them because anything can happen and you lose your money. So the capital market operators, what they do, they open you all have to open an account. They call it a CSCS account with them as your stockbroker, because it is only your stockbroker that can open a CSCS account for you. Now, when that account is created, you now ask yourself, what they do is when the account is created, they will be sending you mails. So most time you get insight on what the market or the kind of shares you want to buy. So you look at, okay, there are a lot of sectors. There is the banking sector. You decide maybe you want to buy a, shares from the bank. You look at all the banks. Which of the banks do you like best or that are doing well in the market? So you can now tell your stockbroker that, okay, I would like to buy this also bank. Your own is just to pay the money into an account that the stockbroker will provide to you. So you pay the money there and tell them what you want. They will use it to buy the shares for you. Then if you want to buy, like in the consumer goods sector, you tell them, okay, you like, let's say you like Dangote, you like flour mill, you like this. You can pay the money and they buy for you. And also your stockbroker need to give you information on what the market is doing and which company is best to buy depending on what you're looking at. For example, if you want to be a trader, traders always look at short-term companies, like they want to buy today and sell in the next 3 4 months so they can get the turnover and buy again. But if you really want to go into buying of shares, you have to think long term. When you're thinking long term, you're thinking from a year and 10 years. And in that you're going to be having only dividend payment while you keep buying. When the shares go down, you buy. When they go up, you can decide to sell or you keep it and get the dividend. So it is a very sweet thing, because it's something that I do. And a lot of people who have made monies in Nigeria, it is through the stock market that they made money. Even as I speak, the stock market is still making people money. It's only when you don't know how it works that you panic. But if you know how it works, when the shares are going down, you buy. When they go up, you sell. This is how people gain. Then also getting information. It is good to get information about the business or the stock market and everything in Nigeria. Just listen to news. You will hear, this company is doing like this. You rush and buy their shares because you're going to gain. If you decide to go into oil and gas, you can always buy shares on those companies. So you see, they are just, in fact, if you want us to talk more on this, I can always educate you. As a stockbroker, this is my field and I know how it works. You make money in it. The only thing is you have to be patient. When it comes to stock trading, you need patience for you to make the money you're looking for. And a lot of people will ask me, but I don't have money to buy stock. I say no. When it comes to stock, you don't need big money. You can start with 50,000 naira. Another time you have per a unit. These are good things to do. When it comes to that, I'll tell you, please, it's good you start buying stock. Stock is good. It's good you trade on them because you will make money over time. Are you there?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So now, with regards to forex and Bitcoin, what's your take on it? I've heard so much. In fact, at some point I was even considering that me, I want to learn forex trading. Like, I'm just looking for every means to grow our income. I know they say forex is technical to learn, and the risk is there and all that. But what do you have to really say about forex and about Bitcoin?
When it comes to forex and Bitcoin, I tell people that okay, because truly it's technical, so you really need to study about it. In fact, if you're buying stocks, it's easier than the forex because that enables you. In fact, when you go into it, you need to always be online to watch out because it is sentiment that drives that. It just like the stock market. Sentiment drive the stock market. Mostly government policies drives the stock market. But when it comes to forex, Bitcoin, all those things, it is an individual. It's the rich people who have this money that drives it. So but you need to study because you can lose money there easily. In fact, you can put money in the stock market and go and sleep, but you can't do that with Bitcoin or forex. You need to study more about it before going into it. As I speak, I have not had interest in forex because I know it is too technical for me, and you don't even have the time. So that's why I don't even dive into it. But the best thing is you get you give money to someone that you know is good to do it, to buy for you. And those people are 247 online to watch what is going on, and so they know when to sell and when to buy. So it's similar to stocks, but stocks is a bit, less, as in it's easier. Stocks is easier than forex. Forex, you really need your time. You need to 247 be online, checking those things, knowing who is saying who is saying what Elon Musk is saying, what Bill Gates is saying. Those are the things that drives it. It is also sentiment, but mostly individual sentiment, unlike the stock market that it is government sentiment that drives it.
Okay, ma. So, with regards to real estate, you talked about real estate. You talked about real
Pardon?
estate. I said you talked about real estate. Real estate. Yes.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
when it comes
when
to
it comes to
real estate,
real estate,
you said something.
you said something. Yeah, I wanted to say for someone who is just starting up, because the focus of this um, awareness is mostly focused on young ladies in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s. And most times we don't have that bulk fund to invest in real estate. Is there any way in which one can, with their small salary, still invest in real estate? Is it even possible?
Yes, there are ways you can
Yeah,
invest in real estate. Like for example, if you check most of all these real estate companies, they advertise landed properties for, let's say, from 700. There are times they'll tell you they go to places that are like it's bush area, that there's no access road. But you know what, when you buy such land, any place that is opening up and you buy a land there, you should be rest assured that in the next 1 2 3 years that land will appreciate, so you sell. So you could see land like 700, 1 million, 1.5. So if you don't have such money there, what you just do is you save. And when you can save in the mutual fund. Let's say you're doing your 20,000 naira, 50,000 naira, any amount that is, convenient for you, you can save towards buying a landed property, especially if that land is between, let's say, 700, 1 million, 1.5. You can actually save and buy. When you buy that land, you leave it and give it a little time, that land will appreciate, then you sell that land. When you sell that land, you will see another land that you will buy at that time. So that is another way to go into landed property. Some people will buy and keep, maybe buy a land and keep it for like 5 years. Let's say you bought a land for 700K, and you kept that land for 5 years. In the next 5 years, that land will be even more than, let's say, 3 million. So you are going to gain. That's another thing with land. But it depends on the locations. Land's prices depends on location. If you see a new place that is opening up, you can buy land there, because especially if government have intention of opening a road access in that area, it's always good you rush and buy such a land, because in the nearest future you're going to make even times 10 of the money you spend in buying that land. So that is another thing, that is a very good thing. You don't need to be old before you buy land. Even as any age, at any age you should buy land, but buy it in the name of, maybe you want to make sales later, except maybe if you want to build. But it's a very good business. Yes, it is a very good business to do. It's a very good investment to put your money there. But if you don't have the bulk cash, you just have to save that money in the mutual fund and then use it to purchase a landed property for future use.
Thank you, Ma. Then my last question. I told you I have many questions. My last question, with regards to HMO, you talked about medical saving accounts, and you said HMO for retirement. So I know currently, while we are in active service, people may have medical insurance. So is the medical insurance we are using at the moment different from what you are referring to for this HMO for retirement? Is there a different type of HMO, or is it the same thing that we should just keep ensuring that we keep renewing over the years or something like that?
Yeah, like for HMOs, there are HMOs that do insurance, medical insurance for you for future. That means you're paying, let's say you're paying monthly, and they use it. You tell them when that money should be used. Like, I think Hassan Mansard does that, yeah. And some other HMOs, they do that. You can tell them, okay, you want an insurance plan, not to start using, most of the ones we use when we are in active services, as they are paying, you're going to the hospital. But this one is an investment arm of it. You're investing to use it later. So they do all that. I know most of them do that. So you can decide to open such an account with them, and you're saving for such a period of retirement instead of using the money now. If you don't want to, let's say, invest it in a normal investment, you can do that medical insurance with HMOs. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so can you give us maybe some names or some examples of some HMOs that we could check out, like for us here in
Yes.
Nigeria? Yeah.
I know of Asamansa, they do that. Then Reliance Healthcare, I think they do that. And which other one? And some of these insurance companies too. Some insurance company also do health insurance for people, whereby later you can make use of it, not now. So you can always
So you
get
can
any
always.
of them. Mm,
Okay. Oh,
yes.
thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your expertise. Please, before you go, how can we contact you if we want to like book a one-on-one consultation or guidance, financial guidance, please?
Mm. Okay, you can always reach out to me on my WhatsApp number 09034277387. And also on my LinkedIn is Immaculata Agogo. Then my Instagram is Immaculata Agogo, but Money Mindset with Ima. Then I also have a YouTube channel, Money Mindset with Ima, and my Facebook is Immaculata Agogo. So you can always reach out to me in any of the platform. Then we'll talk.
Yeah,
Thank you
I'm
so much.
definitely going to reach out to you. So
Thank
I'm
you
going to
so much.
share all I'm going to share all the details. I know that if we had more time, I even wanted you to like based on where you currently work, certain
Okay.
yes, to tell us a few of your products that you think we should invest in, and
Yeah.
that would be lovely. I think you can do that, man.
Yeah, so I work with Codros Capital, and we are regulated by Securities and Exchange Commission, and we do a lot of businesses. We are into asset management, securities, we are into registrars, into trustee, and a lot, even investment banking. We are into all these things. So if you need, we also have insurance. We have insurance arm of our business. So if you need our product, we have a lot product across all our businesses. So in the securities where I am, we do stock trading. You can always reach out to me if you want to buy any shares. I'll put you through how to open an account and the shares to buy. I can always give you, hints on what the companies are doing, where to invest and where not to invest, when to buy and when to sell. I can always give you all that hints. And when it comes to mutual funds, we have money market fund, we have Codros Halal fund, we have milestone fund. These are all mutual fund. We also have dollar fund. If you have dollars and you're keeping them in the bank, you can actually invest and have returns on them. Then we also have fixed income. We have commercial papers. We do sell or arrange for companies, all these big companies who go into the public to raise money instead of going to the banks. So you can come to us, you can buy any of the company, you can invest in any of these companies like Dangote, MTN, flour mills, and so on. All these companies come to us to help them, arrange for commercial papers for people to borrow them money. Always come to us, we'll help you get a good and steady investment to do. Then we can also help you to buy into treasury bills, government bond, even the euro bond. We have like Nigerian euro bond, we have Ghanaian euro bonds, Angola euro bond. We are into all this, and these ones you invest in dollars. You make money anyway. So instead of keeping your dollars in the house or putting it in the bank, bring it and invest. You can have up to 6 to 8% on dollar account. And we do a lot of investment. Just come to us, but we mostly go into secured investment with federal government of Nigeria. So thank you. You can always reach out to me and we talk more.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm your first client from the Women Lighthouse because I'll be
Thank
reaching
you
out
so
to you.
much.
Thank you so much, Ma. I've been so enlightened because you know how you have a desire, sort of you have a little knowledge, but you don't necessarily know how to apply it. So one thing
Mm,
you've done for me in this session is to further buttress the little things I knew and to push me towards action, which is the reason why we hosted this virtual meeting. And I just want to say thank you for that. And we appreciate you for sharing your wealth of knowledge and experience and expertise with us. Thank you so much,
thank you so
Immaculate.
much. Thank you. I really appreciate my time here. I really enjoyed my time, even not for the network. In fact, I feel so good.
I'm so
Thank you
happy we
so
were
much,
able
my
to
dear.
push beyond the network and make this
Yes.
happen. Yes,
Yes.
thank you so much,
Ah,
Ma. And definitely, we're going to bring you again for another session. I'm
no
definitely going to
problem.
reach out to you again, Ma.
Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for that. I'll be waiting for that. Have
Yes,
a
Ma.
blessed
Thank you so much.
evening.
And
All
you too.
right.
Bye. See you later. Bye,
Bye.
Ma.
All right.